Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a VR that has recently been rediscovered. This morning I watched Anna over at Astro Lady Tarot do a VR to the decks that she would rebuy. And I know that there has also been the only 10 decks and the only 10 mass market decks tags going around. And I did recently do a video revisiting my only 10 decks. But the reason I wanted to do this one is I loved the thought behind it because it's sort of a different situation, right? It's not what 10 decks would I keep out of what I already have. Instead, it's more, if I lost all of my decks, if I woke up tomorrow and had nothing, which ones would I rebuy? And how long would it take me to rebuy them? And so on and so forth. So I thought it was very interesting because my answers, I don't think are the same. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't even have 10 decks here. Some of my answers are going to overlap with my only 10 decks video, but I also have a relatively small tarot library anyway. But yeah, so if I woke up tomorrow and had absolutely no decks, like if I lost them all, poof, they were gone. There were 3 that I would buy as soon as I could. If I woke up and had nothing, I would immediately go to my local metaphysical store and I would buy my Smith Waite Centennial. This is the deck that I learned tarot with. I mean, it is classic. It is a staple. It is one that is easily recognizable. It's really common. The Centennial is absolutely my favorite version or coloration of this deck, the Rider Waite Smith. I also prefer calling it the Smith Waite, which really gives homage and appreciation to Peachy, Pamela Coleman Smith, the female artist of this deck. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows this imagery. It's very well known, but it's really, the reason I would buy it immediately, would repurchase this right away, is because this is how I learned tarot. Like when I think tarot, this is what I think. It is my original deck. Well, my very first one is actually, I'm pointing over here because I've got some set up, is my tin version. I would probably repurchase the larger version first if I needed to. I love this deck. This physical copy is relatively newer to me because I've had my tin version longer. But I'm just very excited to like get this version like really worn in and just like soft. And it's cozy. Like when I just want a simple answer, this is what I go for. It's crystal clear, 10 times out of 10. It just tells me what I need, but it's that perfect balance of learned knowledge and intuition for me. So it still allows me to stretch my intuition and work that intuitive muscle. But at the end of the day, you know, I also know the book, like definition meanings of the cards. So, and I did see this was one that Anna would choose. It's one that a lot of people also mentioned in the comments. And I mean, for a good reason. It's the OG. It's classic for a reason. It's just great. It's definitely the first one that I would pick up. So the next deck that I would buy right away is my Ethereal Visions. This was also, so I bought this and the Smith-Waite Centennial at the exact same time. I learned with my Centennial, but this was the first deck that really meant something emotionally to me. It is a Smith-Waite clone, but I just love the pastel color palette. I love the 2 additional cards that Matt put in here. I love the gold. Oh, that sparkle. It's so pretty. And cards like this, they are similar enough to the Smith-Waite that I have that book definition, but it sparks enough of my intuition to sort of take it a step further. So it's not a I mean, I guess it depends on how you define a clone. I wouldn't call this a clone per se, because it does have some cards that kind of go its own way. And I have really gotten to know this deck frontwards and backwards. I have cards in this deck that are like signs for me, like when I'm having really bad anxiety. The Page of Cups always comes up. The Ten of Pentacles is my "you're gonna see a dog today" card. The Chariot in this deck talks to me about vehicle trouble. This is my card for Freya, so whenever I pull this one, I feel that connection to Freya, which was one of the first deities that I worked with. It's just, I know this deck, and it knows me. And I mean, it also is the one that helped me discover my deity. I keep this card out on my altar all the time. Yeah. I really just need to make a copy of it so I can put the card back in the deck. I mean, I love this version of the wheel with the hooded figure. It just, oh, it's so good. Yeah, without a doubt, this and the Smith-Waite. I love this one because of the mask on the person falling from the tower. It's like, was this mask a distraction that caused you to fall out of the tower? If you take off the mask, are you going to be able to see clearly to know how you need to land so you don't land on your back? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, this is just, oh, high anxiety, high vehicle problems. It's just, I know this deck so well. Yeah, and it's beautiful. Like, Matt did such an amazing job with the artwork in this deck. Like, I have no qualms, no issues reading this deck. Okay. So this is the Ethereal Visions. Absolutely one that I would definitely repurchase. And I believe, okay, so my first 3 are definitely mass market. And then I've kind of got a different set of cards. Okay. So the third one that I would buy right away is my Thoth. This is the large version that I've taken off all the borders and edged in gold. Just one layer so it gets that really sort of old look to it. This is one that I just, I think a good way to describe these 3, it's like this deck is very, very grounded and earthy for me. This one is a step higher in that it sparks my intuition, it connects me to deity. And this one is even higher in that it takes me to a very, very intuitive and spiritual place. It is not really grounded for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's less physical and more woo for me. But there is magic in these cards. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork by Lady Frida Harris. The colors in this deck are just bold and beautiful. And I love just learning about this deck. But this is the deck that I use when I do a lot of self-reflection, because it will not hold back. It does not hold any punches. It tells me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. So it does sort of help me get into that very spiritual place, but it'll also kick me in the gut if I need it to. So this is absolutely one that I do not see ever not being in my library. I love it. I just love looking at these cards. Like, they're just so beautiful. Each card is like its own masterpiece. So that is the Thoth. So these three are the ones that I would absolutely go to the nearest metaphysical store and drive around until I found them, because I would need them right away. The next group are the ones that once I got those three and got to know them and bonded with them, then I would also get these. It would just take some time. It wouldn't be like an immediate purchase. First one, these are in no particular order as well. First one is the Roots and Wings Oracle. I'm not opposed to getting the large version. I would just want it to not be the rose petal finish. I did originally have that one, and I just found I don't really care for rose petal, just myself. This is a great all-around oracle. It is earthy and spiritual. It has like animals and people. It is light and shadow. It is just really good. It's also got some tarot cards in here. I love using this one for to pull a card from this deck as the theme for a tarot reading. So for example, like, oh, what question should I be asking today? And if I get the Worker, then okay. Then I pull out my little book and I find the Worker. And it says social organization and community, working together, belonging, and contributing. So then I would make my tarot questions based off of that description. So I could ask, you know, how can I engage with my community today? How can I create a sense of belonging? And how can I contribute to others' work today? So on and so forth. That is really my favorite way to use this oracle. It's just really good. And the artwork is beautiful. The artist, Kat Riles, is, she lives in North Carolina, which is very close to where I grew up. So I also kind of feel that sort of connection. Like I just feel like I know this artwork beyond just having it for a long time. Like I feel very connected to it. Let's see. And I love that the people in the deck do not have faces, so they're very ambiguous. It can be anybody, any person that you choose to see. There's no gender, there's no details. Beautiful, beautiful little oracle. Okay, so that is the Roots and Wings mini oracle that I would definitely buy shortly after those first three. Let's see what I want to do next. Next, I would try to get the Northern Animal Tarot. Now this tarot deck has really surprised me. It is one that is a very comforting deck for me. It is when I know I want to explore emotions, but I don't want to get hurt by the thought, then I'll come to this deck. It's when I want to do shadow work but need that sort of more gentle ease into that shadow space. This is the one that I'll go for. The characters just feel familiar to me due to the characters that I would see growing up in cartoons and books and things like that. So it really helps me also connect to that inner child as well. Love that the raven is the world. And I love using this deck to read for others as well. I'll use it to read for my partner. I've used it for friends. It has never given me an inaccurate reading. So I really use it for when people, like if I'm reading for others, I use it when they really are having a hard time and like need help making a decision or need some guidance. This is the deck that I will use. Love the death card. Yeah. This is the 2nd edition. I believe the creator is coming out with a 3rd edition soon. But I would honestly try to get my hands on any edition. Okay. Next up, I would, let's see what I want to do. I'll do that one last. Sorry, don't mind me. I like to talk aloud or think out loud. Next is the Tarot de Carlo Tea Days. This one I debated, but this deck has really helped me strengthen my intuition, and the artwork in this deck really just sparks my intuition like really, really well. It's whimsical, it's so cute, like it's just fun, and I would definitely want to have a fun deck in my library. Yeah, this one has just been really, really great for reading for others. In particular, it has really given me confidence in reading for others, because when I first started, I was not confident in doing so, but then I read for someone else with this deck specifically, and the message just came through crystal clear. I knew exactly what the cards were saying. I love that the minors each have like their own sort of color. Like the pentacles are this yellow color, the cups are pink, wands are like more green, like here, and then what's the other one? Swords are more blue. Love this 5. There are a lot of cards in this deck that I also have never really seen anything like them, like this 5 of Wands, where it's horses dressing up, like using the wands or the sticks to dress up as unicorns and like get into like a play fight. Like it's a playful fight energy that I've just never seen any other deck do this. And there are other cards like the 4 of Swords, this Princess and the Pea. This is very similar to the Hermit in my John Bauer tarot, so I was actually really excited when I saw that sort of connection. Yeah, it's just a really cute, fun deck. Like even the Death card, it is fun. And the more I read with this deck, the more I sort of find my own like key phrases for each card. Like for this Death card, it's don't trip on the weeds while you're clearing them out. Like don't get caught up on the roots. Like things that I would never really think for any other Death card. Love this Knight of Cups. For me in this deck, he means self-care. Here's the 4 of Swords, the Princess and the Pea. And let's see. Yeah. Ooh. She's holding the P, so she found it, she dug it out, and now she can rest. Like, it's great. Love this deck. And I really like using this one at like the end of winter or early spring. Just the color palette just really kind of lends itself for that time of year. So because this one is really fun and really sparks my intuition in some great ways, I would definitely repurchase this one too. Okay, 2 more decks. One is another Oracle, and that would be the Reclaim. I would definitely repurchase this deck for shadow work. This and the Thoth, oh my gosh, guys, they're brutal, but like the best sort of brutal. Like when you just really need a kick in the ass, those decks will, they'll tell you what you need. Yeah, this one is great for helping me discover emotions, and also the guidebook is literal poetry. It is beautifully written, and it puts a whole new level on the keywords that are in this deck. Yeah, I just cannot see my tarot practice without this oracle. And it's a very substantial, like a good thick deck. And it's just great. Like, it really has helped me through some difficult times. It has also shown me kindness when I need that. But again, it doesn't hold back any punches. So when I am just not dealing with my own shit, this one will tell me. And this reminds me, I pulled this one with the Two of Wands and the Thoth before. So like, it also, like, the imagery mirrors, like this and the Thoth play off of each other very well. It's just great. I love that some of the figures are more feminine, but some are also very ambiguous. So they can be male, they can be female, they can be, you know, angels or whatever. It's I also love that, like, some have like weird eyes and horns and wings, tails. Like, they're human, but they're not quite human. It's like our inner beast, or our inner, yeah, like our inner beast, and like our inner monsters, our inner demons. They come out to play in this deck too. This one is really good for, I mean, if you want to work on healing, if you want a fluffy deck, this is not it. But if you want that's really gritty healing, this one's the way to go. And since it has been really brutal to me, but in a good way, I would definitely need it in my practice. Okay, so those are all the decks that I would absolutely repurchase. The next one is an honorable mention / cheat because I did get rid of this deck and have already repurchased it. And that is the Marshmallow Marseille. Over the summer, this past summer, I was in a really weird, bad space with my practice. I didn't sit at my altar for months. I didn't do any readings. I didn't even want to look at my decks. I was at a point where I was like, I just need to get rid of some, and I don't, you know, want to keep all the ones that I have because I'm not reading anyway. So if I get rid of some, what does it matter? I got rid of this one. I gave it to another local witch, and missed it. Even though I'm by no means an expert in Marseille, I am still very much a newbie. Haven't even really started studying Marseille. I hope to get a book on it soon to really start studying Marseille. But when I did read with this deck, it gave me really clear readings. It gave me a very grounded, day-to-day, just mundane readings, which sometimes you need, you know, like not every time I pull cards am I getting into this very spiritual place. Sometimes I just need to know if my coworker is going to be a jerk today, or, you know, if I'm gonna want to pick a fight with my partner over eating the last bagel, or things like that, you know, like it's a very mundane, earthy deck, and I missed it. I love this prince, or excuse me, the Knight of Cups. Like, he's just living his best life on his bright pink horse. And that's another one, like similar to Carla T Days, this deck is just fun. And it allows me to play. And life is too short to not have fun. I'm going to say that again. Life is too short to not have fun. So have fun. Play. And this deck allows me to play. I'm still bonding with this one in particular. It was not like my last one. So the first time I had this deck, I got it straight from the creator. This deck I got secondhand. So I'm still working on bonding with this one. If you guys are interested in knowing how I bond and connect or reconnect with my decks, let me know down below. I would love to make a video on that as well. It's on my list. I've got a long list of videos I want to make. But yeah, it was just fun and I missed it, and it's the only Marseille I see myself having, so I needed it. So that's my honorable mention and my somewhat cheat, because even though I don't think, I mean, in this scenario, let's say I wake up tomorrow and all of my decks are gone. This is one I would buy again for a third time. And hopefully for the last time. Okay. All right. So those are the decks that I would absolutely repurchase if they were gone. If I woke up tomorrow and had nothing, those were the ones that I would buy. Let me know down below if you, like, what decks you would use in that situation. If you end up doing a video response, also let me know down below. I would love to watch them. Go give Anna at Astro Lady Tarot, give her some love, watch her videos, give her likes and follows and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you're not already. Greatly appreciate it. It helps me more than I can say. Thank you guys again. And before you go, please remember, you matter, you are loved, and you can make a difference. Bye, friends.